Happy Pride Month! Woo! In honor of Pride Month, I thought I would theme this bottle episode around Pride Month and explain a bit more of what I am, talk about some terms, and yeah, just talk about some LGBT plus related stuff. Apparently, I haven't made clear enough about what I am. Please, I'm already the biggest fruit around. Gay. No, it's fine. It gets a bit confusing when I've got so many personas and characters and different things. But I reckon it would make more sense if I did this. I still can't put my paws on properly. I might have to just add like another black stripe to my character so this at least makes sense. Just pretend I'm wearing wristbands. But hi, I'm a Dezu, and I'm the person that owns that blue kangaroo you've just been watching. I thought I would be myself for this so that way I can talk about me, what I am, and talk about Pocari as well without it being too confusing, I guess. It's still a little confusing. So let's start with that. I identify as lesbian, plain and simple. I'm a woman. I like the women's. I also have my own personal woman that goes by my girlfriend. No, I have a very lovely girlfriend, and apparently some of you are skeptical if she even exists because she doesn't appear in my videos. She's a more behind the camera kind of person. She's gonna start up her own channel, so you'll see that soon. She goes by Kiba Swiftpaw in the fandom. She used to be pretty big here in Australia. She doesn't have any fursuits at this point in time. She used to have a few, but she's had to keep going through them. But we're pretty much the same size, so she just steals mine from time to time. If you see Pocari running around and is a bit more buff than usual, then odds are Kiba's in there. She also appears in some of my Desi videos on my Desi channel, so you can always go check that out if you want to see if you can try and find her. I'm sorry that channel's so dead at the moment. I haven't had much time to do any Desi videos ever since becoming a full-time blue kangaroo, so that channel's more of a just spur of the moment thing. We actually had another girl in the relationship for about a year. Unfortunately, it just stopped working a couple of months ago. Sometimes that just happens, but I was in like an actual polygamous relationship for a while, and that was certainly an interesting experience. Very hard. Polygamy is very hard, man, but hey, if you can get it to work, it's really good. I definitely thoroughly enjoyed it while it lasted. I don't regret a thing. It's just sometimes things don't work out. And looking back, it's probably not something I'd do it again. Like, yeah, as I said, I enjoyed it while it lasted, but I'm not sure I'd get back into polygamy. I still do like the whole one-on-one kind of thing. And do you know how hard it is to fit 3 people into one bedroom? Like, oh, that was a bit squishy. But I have a huge respect for successful polygamous couples, triples, people, polygamous people, because it's just so difficult to do, like, without hurting at least someone's feelings. Like, you really need to make sure that everyone is communicating and everyone is cooperating and everyone just knows what's going on. So from here, my girlfriend and I are also in an open relationship, which is another thing that I'm seeing happen more and more, but not usually that successful. Thankfully, my girlfriend and I are actually able to pull it off pretty well, because we know at the end of the day, you know, we're still each other's favorite person. We're still gonna come home. We're still gonna, you know, look after each other. They're the person we're gonna marry and grow old with. So as long as we know where the other person is and what they're doing and what they're up to, and just, you know, just so we know so they're safe, then we don't really mind. We're actually looking to register as a de facto couple pretty soon, so that's pretty exciting. If you don't know what that is, it's not marriage. It's like half, but not marriage. So you still get all the legal things. So, you know, if Kiba was in the hospital and I needed to go see her and she was critical, they normally only let in family. But because like gay marriage and stuff isn't really recognized very well here, you need to be like officially registered as a couple to be able to have that right, which is kind of messed up. But yeah, that's just how it is. We will get gay marriage though, I swear. Yeah, Australia still doesn't have gay marriage. It's kind of sad. Our parliament is really messed up at the moment. It's just, it's fucked. Excuse my French, but it's fucked. Recently they gave us something called the Evermore Pledge, which is like a special marriage just for gay couples, I guess, but it's got the same legal stuff that marriage has, but it's not marriage. Like, it's better than nothing. It's still a step forward. Like, me and my girlfriend probably end up doing that because we just can't be bothered waiting for actual gay marriage to come through, and we're not religious, so we don't really care about the official marriage thing. But it's still kind of sucky because we're being treated differently. Like, we're being treated as a different group when we all need to be equal, be the same. They're like, you want our marriage? You can't have our marriage here. Here's your own little special thing. Go be special somewhere else. And there are still plenty of same-sex couples that do want that actual proper religious marriage, holy matrimony thing, and they still can't get that. So this Evermore pledge thing is a bit of a band-aid solution until we eventually do get actual gay marriage. Anyways, yes, so on the surface, I identify as lesbian, but it does get a bit more technical. I say lesbian because that's just easier, but if you really want to know the technical nitty-gritty, I'm bisexual, but homo-romantic. So that means I can be sexually attracted to both genders, but I only feel like love and romance with the same gender. However, there is a very, very small number of guys that I'm actually attracted to, so like the ratio for girls to guys is like 100 to 1, like even 1,000 to 1. It's really, really rare. Yeah, I just say lesbian, it's easier, and I just prefer women in general, and it's better to go, ooh, I'm bisexual, homo-romantic, man. But then we have Pocari. Okay, Pocari gets a bit confusing because I do sometimes mix myself with him. But okay, so Pocari can be both male and female. He is a gender fluid character, but by default is he, and I just refer to him as he. So female Pocari, as in like when I'm partialing as him, I still say him. I'm not really called Pocari a her. I always call him a him even when he's being a her. But anyway, yeah, partial Pocari is lesbian. That's because when I partial as Pocari, I can't really hide me. It's still me, so I essentially just make partial Pocari me, so gay as hell. But Pocari as a male character, so like for art and when it's a full suit, he is bi. However, Pocari in a whole is asexual. Being asexual means you don't feel sexual attraction to anyone. Like, it's just not something that ever crosses your mind. You can still feel love and romance, but the actual sexual side is just not there for you. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that either. Like, a lot of asexuals get laughed at because like, just wait till you're older, just wait till you meet the right person. Asexuality is a very real thing. And Pocari is a strictly safe for work character, so he will never ever 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 do anything adult. Like, sure, he'll tease, he'll make jokes, he'll make so many innuendos, but he'll never actually do anything sexual, so he is an asexual character. Why? I just don't feel like him that way. And also because, you know, now that he's gaining popularity, you know, little kids are gonna be like, oh, let's look up Pocari on Google, and then if it's just porn, then, oh, that's not gonna be, they're not gonna be friendly, especially if the parent sees that. So yeah, Pocari is a very strictly platonic character. So, yeah, asexualness, asexual awareness. Not that there's really much you can do with that kind of information, but hey, Pride Month, interesting to talk about, and just the more you know. Now, while you're born what you are, you don't always know it. It's really interesting. I was actually straight for the majority of my life. Like, I had a boyfriend and everything. It was really interesting. But the relationship kind of got a bit stale after 4.5 years. Like, we still stuck with each other because that's better than nothing. But after I met Kiba, just that feeling of, this fits way too well. Like, just the amount, just the overwhelming of, this is me, this is what I'm supposed to be. No, I didn't cheat. I'm not a cheater. I had explicit permission to go and find some friends with benefits. But I talked with my boyfriend about it because I was just so conflicted. I felt so bad for feeling this way, but there's nothing I could do to change it. So we talked it over. I gave him the chance for him to be like, no, you're pulling me by the ear, get back here. But we both saw it coming and thought that would be the better choice, because I could either go do what my heart wants, or I could stay with him, continuing to wish I was somewhere else and probably just being miserable. Oh, my parents' reaction though. I had no idea what to expect there. I was living in Melbourne at the time and they were living in Tasmania, and I was also terrified of phone calls. So I had to break the news to my mum over Facebook. They did not see it coming in the slightest. Like, you'd think being a tomboy all my life would have been a giveaway. But Mum was certainly surprised. She was definitely supportive though. She ensured that she still loved me and that she would support me and love me unconditionally no matter what I do. And then I asked, oh, so what does Dad think? Mum's like, yeah, Dad's having a drink. Dad was even more shocked, but he eventually came down from the initial shock and is fully supportive too. In fact, nobody in my family has any issues with this, which is interesting because I'm the first person in my family to have a same-sex partner, so I had no idea what to expect. The main person I was worried about was my nan, and that was because of a conversation we had about a year earlier. I was staying over at her place, and it was a very slow afternoon. We're just chilling in the lounge room. I'm flicking through the channels on the TV, just her and me there. So as I'm flicking through the channels, Ellen comes on, and I love Ellen, so I stopped on that. And my nan goes to me and says, oh, you like that show, do you? And so I said, yeah, the show's pretty funny, and I think Ellen's pretty cool. And Nana goes, oh, I don't like her. So I asked, why not? And she leans in and goes, 'cause she's a poof. So I'm just there like, oh, haha, Nan, you're funny. I wasn't sure to laugh or to cry because I was bi at the time. So she was the only one I was concerned about after that comment, but the next time I went to her house after meeting Kiba, she was totally fine, so oh, that was a relief. I swear I have the most peaceful and drama-free family ever. I love them every single day. I feel so blessed to have such a nice family. I know so many more people who haven't been able to be as lucky as me. This is all thanks to the furry fandom too. Like, I don't mean to say, oh, furries turn me gay, but it's interesting how, like, what, 70% of the fandom isn't straight? I think it's because, like, as a community, we're not afraid to express ourselves. Like, we dress up as giant colorful animals for Pete's sake. Like, we're not afraid of anything, so we're always, like, not afraid to show the things we love, show the things we do, and just be ourselves. But yeah, thanks to this awesome, diverse fandom full of so many different people, I was able to find who I really was. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry this is going to be a bit of a shorter one, but I really wanted to do something for Pride Month. So yeah, I hope you still enjoyed it, and I shall hand you back over to the Roo. Alright. There we go. Your favourite Roo is back. Alright, thank you so much for joining me on this bottle episode. It was probably a bit more weird than the other ones you're used to, but I hope it was still interesting. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye!